Oh, hey everybody, how are you? My hair is messy. It's dark outside. It's quiet. My cat's probably going to meow in the background. I'm at home. And I'm not on the road. I'm not adventuring around the country filming television shows for ASY TV. So again, you're gonna get one of these. Wherever you at, right? You're gonna get one of these little tops whatever list, you know? I think a lot of you are going to enjoy this one though, because this one is my top all-time favorite video games. Wow, Brandon, you're selling out. You're going the video game route, really? You're doing what everybody else does just to get some cheap likes and views and maybe a couple subscriptions in the process. You're really going to... Yeah, totally. That's the reason I'm doing it. Maybe, and just maybe, for the first time ever, my son will actually watch one of these videos. You got your whole dad's life on the ASY TV life, on the ASY TV YouTube page. Maybe 20 years down the road, he'll be interested in click play on a few of these, but I can almost guarantee I'm gonna send him the link just to see what he thinks of my top 20 all-time favorite video games. This is actually kind of exciting. I put some work into this one. So let's do the intro. And while that's going on, you can pause, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, hit the like button at the end of the video if you like the video, and leave in the comments what your favorite video games are. Maybe give me your top 20. It doesn't matter. There's no limited space in the comments. There's no kilobytes that's gonna run out. Tell me your top 5, whatever. Tell me if you hate all my selections or you completely agree with me. So we're gonna play the intro. It's gonna say, hey, I'm Brandon, and I live a weird life. Okay, let's do this.
Hey, this is Brandon, and I have a pretty weird life. I mean, I'm a dad, I have a demanding cat, and I own ASY TV, a streaming television network that puts me on a never-ending road filming awesome people in awesome places all over the nation. So I'm inviting you to come along for the ride and see what it takes to run ASY TV. And I'm doing the van life thing while having fun, amazing, tasty, and weird adventures. Are you ready? It's the ASY TV life.
Okay, we're back. I'm gonna keep my voice down a little bit. Usually I'm yelling and screaming and acting all maniacal and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do that this time. Why? Because it's late and I'm respectful to the sleeping neighbors around me. It is, I don't even know what time it is. It's not as late as I thought it is, but it's dark, it's quiet, and I intend on keeping it that way as soon as I get done wrapping off the top 20 of my all-time video games. And these are from my entire span of life. I am one of the lucky ones. I was born in 1973. I don't remember when Pong came out, but it wasn't too far after that, and arcades were taken off around that time. And then I was there for the Atari 2600. I was there for the original Nintendo. I was there for the original PlayStation, the original Xbox, the computer games, the what was it, the IntelliTech, whatever, the Commodore 64s, and now I have all these monsters behind me, but and Xboxes in every room and all that good stuff, and not to mention the stuff that you could do on your phone. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that'll be another top 10 list, my top 10 favorite phone games or apps in general or whatever, but I'm gonna get to this list because I'm excited to do it. I'm really kind of excited about this. And here's the secret. I am not a huge video game guy anymore. Nope. I have a couple that I play whenever I need to just relax the brain a little bit. I play these games, especially my number one, which you have to stick around to find out what that is. I like that when I'm playing that game and other games, I just kind of space out. And for me, who runs a multitude of businesses and has all these projects way up in the air, just kind of fluttering around, nothing's on the back burner, it's all up front. It really helps. It's relaxing, it's therapeutic, and I appreciate video games for that reason. Anyways, and there's a lot I left off this list. I could have put on Tyson's Punch-Out. I could have put on, there's like Rygar from the original Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers, you know, Grand Theft Auto, all of these kind of games, of course. I could have easily put on there Gears of War. There's there's really a ton of games that I left off this list, but I wanted to keep it at a nice 20. Here we go. Number 20. This takes you back to the Atari 2600. It's Missile Command. Yes, I could have picked a bunch of them. Centipede. I could have picked that crappy Pac-Man version. My cat's gonna meow like crazy because I'm talking and it's not to her. Shut up. It was the one with the joystick and the little red button, and and I remember the noise. I remember it. It's still in my brain. Probably because I just like downloaded the trailer for it or some gameplay for it. I just remember out of all the Atari 2600 games, and we had a ton of them, that was probably my favorite. I don't know why. It just was. It was, there was a sense of impending doom. You're talking about the 80s here when nuclear war was a very real thing. Not that it isn't now, but it's back then it was crazy. It was everywhere. Russia gonna bomb us into existence or out of existence, whatever. Anyway, Missile Command was very stressful. And I could have put Asteroid on there too. I really liked playing that one. But Missile Command, like I said, was a little real. Not graphic-wise, but it was just a real subject. And I would play that game until my poor little thumb was blistered and the stick was... I remember we broke a lot of Atari 2600 joysticks because mainly because of that game. Also Combat. I don't know. See what I'm saying? There's a lot of honorable mentions here. But I'm going to stick with my number 20, Missile Command. Number 19 is a game that my son and I played last year. He introduced it to me. Of course, I bought it like I've bought thousands of other games for him, literally. It's called A Way Out. This is one of the most unique games. First of all, anytime I get a chance to play anything with my son from start to finish, we beat the game together, is a great, great game to me because I love the time. Even if it's playing video games, I love spending that time with him because he's a teenager now and it's going to get less and less. It's already gotten less and less to the point of like sadness in my life. But once in a while we'll come up with a game and we'll just play it from start to finish. And it was very unique in the matter that you have two different screens going on at the same time, but you have to kind of help each other. You keep losing each other and finding each other, and there's a lot of scenarios in there that you need to work together in it. Man, I really had a good time playing this game with him, and is it something I'll play again? No, but it was definitely worth being high, or I guess low on this list at number 19. So A Way Out, if you are a father out there trying to connect with your video game obsessed son, get this game on Xbox, and hopefully you guys will have as good of a time as at least I did. I'm going to pretend that he had a good time as well. Number 18, this goes back to the 80s arcades. Okay, my mom and my stepdad at the time would often bowl. They were some bowling fools back in the day. And one of the video games, arcade games that they had was called ZAXXON, ZAXXON. And I've never seen this game anywhere else or since that bowling alley. But I remember I was given usually about $5 to $10 worth of quarters, and maybe I had some quarters. I was a kid, very young, way younger than my son is now, and I would just, I didn't care about bowling. I mean, bowling is bowling, whatever. Everybody likes bowling, everybody hates bowling, but I didn't want to bowl, so I would play one of two games at this arcade that was in the bowling alley. And ZAXXON it was weird because it was kind of angled like a little bit, and you'd have to go up and down, left and right, and that was pretty groundbreaking for those days. And it had lots of like missiles shooting up and these little silos and everything that you had to expand, other ships coming at you. It was very stressful, and I remember I got really, really good at it. If there would have been a ZAXXON tournament back then, I probably would have done quite well. My hair is messed up. Number 17. The other game that I played at that arcade in the bowling alley, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. It was the first turtle game that I've seen. I'm not sure if it was the first turtle game, but I wasn't that huge into the turtles until that game. And then after that, I started buying the action figures and watching the cartoon and everything. I was kind of obsessed with turtles after that point. But that game ate up twice as many quarters as ZAXXON did. And it was really, really hard it was, I think you could have played with more than one person. If I remember correctly, you could play with maybe 4 people because there was different controllers. But I remember it was just me most of the time because I had no friends, especially at the bowling alley. And it was crazy. It was just movement and flashing and just all these different characters and everything. And I just loved it. And I would sit there and like I'd play ZAXXON a little bit. I had a system. I'd play ZAXXON for like half an hour, and then I'd move over to the turtle game and just spend the rest of my quarters and then beg for more in the middle of their bowling game. Could I have perhaps more quarters? And I'd keep bugging them until they gave them to me. Like, it's quarters. Oh yeah, nice strike. Give me quarters, please. And number 16, back to the, I just kicked the tripod. My bad, I'm sorry. Number 16, back to the original Nintendo, the original Castlevania. Whoosh! Simon and what was his last name? I can't remember. It was the Vampire Slayer guy, had the whip. Simon Laban? I don't remember the dude's name. It was the vampire. It doesn't matter. Anyways, the original Castlevania. Man, I can't tell you how many times I would stay up to like 4 in the morning playing the original Castlevania. Now keep in mind, the original Nintendo, when you died 3 times, that's it. There was no saving your place, okay? That didn't come around until like the first PlayStation when you had to put a little saving card in there, memory card in there. I think you could hit continue and maybe stay on the same level. Pretty sure, but yeah, you didn't get to just pick up where you left off like all these games do today. You were screwed. So if you died, and in Castlevania you die a lot, you had to start that whole level all over again. And I just played it recently, and it was so mind-numbingly boring and repetitive that I don't know, what was I, it was amazing back then, I thought. Number 15 is a newer game that just had some upgrades and stuff. It's called Cities Skylines. Now I had SimCity 4, or actually I'm sorry, SimCity 4 and the original SimCity on this list. And I took them off because I like City Skylines better. City Skylines is like a city builder. It's a city planner, and you gotta control the budget, you gotta control taxes, you gotta control pollution, you gotta, get water, electricity, the whole thing. You build residential areas and everything. It's very much like SimCity. It just goes way farther. And I remember the original SimCity, and I loved it. I don't like The Sims and things like that, but I love builder games, like even like Zoo Tycoon and 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point has a new one called 2 Point Campus, but it's on the screen right now. I might be buying that. Anyway, Skylines is just, it's so much fun, and they have a wonderful soundtrack on there, especially the old, I think it's called Gold, which takes you back to the 50s and 60s and stuff. It's really cool, and you can just get lost in that game for hours. And that's one of the games that I'm talking about where I just play it and I'm just relaxed, clearing my brain. It's just mindless fun. Number 14 is a brand new game. It's called The Quarry. Holy crap, my kid told me about this game. Actually, no, I think I told him about this game. I saw a trailer for it on YouTube or something, and I was looking at it, and it's a cool summer camp horror game straight out of the 80s plot, which is right up my alley. I love that stuff. And sure enough, I downloaded it. It cost $50, whatever. It was, there's been often times that I've spent $40-50 on a game and been like, when did I just buy this, kid? And my kid started off playing it. I think he played the first chapter of it. And I don't know if he was bored playing it, but he kind of gave up on it real quick. He had something going on in his room. He's a teenager, who knows what that is. He likes games like Roblox and Rust and whatever he's playing on his computer in there. He likes computer games. I like Xbox games. I like the controller and the feel. I don't like pushing the buttons because I always get them wrong. But anyways, I picked up the game at that point and I was glued to it for 3 days, and I beat it. It's one of the few games in the last 20 years, I'll say 15, 20 years, that I beat. And then I didn't like the ending because I screwed up a couple things, and I went back and I beat it again. There's a bunch of different endings on this game, and it's really cool. And it's one of those video games where you go, how did they make a video game like hot? Like the women on there, the video game, everybody on that game is beautiful. But yeah, it's like for a teenage boy playing that game, I could imagine they'd have a little fantasies. Not me. No, I know it's a video game. I did not do anything while playing that game that was inappropriate. I promise you. Number 13 is another newish video game, but it's from an old series. I've been playing the Resident Evil series since they've come out. Got away from it a little bit. I think they kind of got away from the Raccoon City and the scary plot and the zombies and everything, and it got a little weird there, but they really brought back the fear factor of a video game with Resident Evil Village, which I think is the 8th installment. Wow. I mean, graphics, crazy storyline, wonderful locations and environments and atmospheres, fun to play, easy to play. I'm not sure if I beat this one or if my kid beat it, or we both beat it together. That sounds so gross. It's late. Anyway, I either way, I've watched it from beginning to end, and sometimes I like just to watch him play. It's spending time with him one way or another. I love figuring out the clues and doing the stuff without actually having to do the controllers, because he's like way better than that. Like if I play him at Call of Duty or Halo or any of this stuff, he slaughters me. It's not even close. It's embarrassing. And I was in the freaking army, and I should know these like maneuvers and strategies, and I don't know anything. He destroys me at this stuff. Gets me angry sometimes. It's like, I think he's got some kind of cheat code. I'm pretty sure he's cheating. It has to be. Or he's just way better than me. Anyways, Resident Evil 8 Village is just, there's jump scares. It gives you the creeps. The storyline picks up from, I believe, Resident Evil 7, which is just another incredible. They could be tied, honestly. Number 12. This goes back to the Nintendo Game Boy. That's the first time I played this game. And now I have it on Xbox. I have it on my phone. I have it everywhere. It's Tetris. It's, dare I say, Tetris is the perfect game. Very close. I mean, it's number 12 on my list, but it is very close to just the perfect time-wasting, mind-numbingly stressful game. I love Tetris. The music, everything about Tetris, I love. And I even like knockoff Tetris. I play like a game called Woodoku or something like that, and it's like Tetris, but it's just not. It's the ultimate puzzle game, and there's nobody out there who doesn't like Tetris. Tell me you don't like Tetris. Go ahead. Didn't think so. Number 11 is another kind of mind-numbingly simple puzzle type game. I got an itchy nose. I didn't want you to think I was picking it. There's a cat running around here, man. Her fur just goes right up my nose. Sucks. But I love her. Love her to death. Where am I? Number 11. Peggle and Peggle 2. Let's say they're tied. Peggle is... I can spend... Again, I'm judging these games on how much time, cumulative time, that I've spent playing them over the course of my life. Peggle has been one of them that has occupied much of my life. Dare I say more than I care to admit. I love Peggle. It's a great, fun game. You shoot these little balls, and you got these different characters, and they have these different puzzles, and they bounce off of things. Every time they bounce off of things, they disappear, and you get a point for them, whatever, and you try to get them in the highest numbered hole and everything. Just look up the game. If you don't want to buy it, then look it up on YouTube and say, hey, what is Peggle? And they will show you what Peggle is, and you'll be like, I want to play that. Peggle kicks ass. Number 10 is a Telltale game, which means it's a series of episodes that make up one big game. It's the original Telltale Walking Dead series of games. Oh my gosh. That's another one my son and I played when he was really young. I know I'm playing a zombie game with death and murders and guns and everything. Whatever. He hasn't killed anybody yet, so good deal. Not that I know of. Anyway, Telltale did a wonderful, wonderful game. Wonderful job with this game. Oh my goodness, you get addicted to it. And then the cool thing is the games kept coming. Like for like 10 years or something like that. You follow Clementine, this little girl who survives and everybody around her dies. It's Walking Dead, of course. But you follow her until she's like a young lady, and you get emotionally invested in this game because you're just like, oh, don't let that guy. It's kind of like watching The Walking Dead. You're like, no, not that guy. No, no. And you play with different characters, and you just have all these different scenarios. And much like if you like The Walking Dead, you will love this game. I don't care if you even play video games. You will absolutely love the Telltale, Telltale series of Walking Dead games, trust me. And then there's other ones like New Horizon or something like that, and then the Michonne series. We haven't even started on those yet. I think we've beaten most of them, but not the Michonne one. There's more coming, so seriously, you will just fall in love with these games. They're a lot of fun. Number 9 takes us back to the original PlayStation. I'm just going to come out with it. Final Fantasy VII. I was never into any of the previous Final Fantasy ones, not on the Nintendo, not any of the ones I found in Korea when I went over there. This game, Final Fantasy VII, I didn't even like the ones after it. I played Final Fantasy VIII because I was hoping it was as good as 7. It wasn't. But Final Fantasy VII with Cloud and the whole gang, and oh man, it was like the first open world thing. You can just kind of go anywhere, and there was like you had to do it in a sequence. But I remember discovering that game. I didn't have a PlayStation. I was in the Army. I was in my first unit in the Army, Charlie 632 in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And my friends Marino and Pacific, that was their last names, they would just be in their barracks room. We had these like kind of nice barracks room. We were the first people to move into that building. And they had a PlayStation, and they had that game. And it came on like 3 or 4 discs. Like you'd beat one disc and you'd have to put the next one in there. That's how big this game was for the time. Nowadays, you could probably stick it on a freaking thumb drive, but that's a thumb drive. But back then it was like huge technology. It was crazy, and the graphics were insane for that time. Trust me, it was 97, I want to say, 98. No, I joined the Army in, 97 probably. Anyways, they would play that game. I never got to play it because it was their game. And they were playing it and taking turns, but I'd sit there and just watch. And when Cloud beat Sephiroth at the end, I was bummed. I felt like my favorite TV show just ended, and I really had no reason to go back over to Pacific's room. It was so much fun, and it was like this little thing. We'd all get pizza and drinks and stuff, and just watch them play this game. It was really fun. And then years later, not even years later, maybe. I think I went to Korea soon after that, and I got a PlayStation over there, and I put a little magic chip in it where I could play burnt games, like copied games. And over there, they'd sell copied games for like $3. So I remember buying that one for like $9, $10 or something, which would be like 5,000 Korean won is what they call it. And then I got to play it in Korea and played it. So until I beat Sephiroth. So screw you, Pacific. I got to do it my damn self. I wonder what those guys are doing, actually. I'd love to know where they were. Number 6 is another game that I got a copy of in Korea, a burnt copy of, and played it until the wheels fell off. Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2. Man, it's making my nose itch to think about it. It's the first game that ever scared me. The first one was great too, but the second one for some reason was just a little bit better graphics, a little bit better storyline, a little bit easier to play. And I mean, lots of walking around in the fog, of course, but up until that point, it was scarier than Resident Evil. It was just, like I said, there was jump scares, cats jumping out of lockers and stuff, and the creepy little ghost babies that are wiggling around and everything. It was I got addicted to that game. I think I played it again and again, and it's another game you're bummed after you beat it. You're like, oh, like, okay, Silent Hill 3, when's that coming out? You start getting a little itchy about it. And I used to be a real big gamer. I didn't realize it until I'm making this video. Number 7 takes us back to the wonderful Nintendo Entertainment System. It's Blades of Steel, the ultimate hockey game. I have gotten hockey games since then. I don't even remember what they're called, the 2K one. There's a bunch of them, but I have not found one that's as much fun. I'm sure if I played Blades of Steel now, I'd be like, okay, this is boring. But back then, I adored it, and it was just hard enough to where sometimes I lost, but often I got good enough to where I mostly won. And it was really cool for me because you could pick, you know, teams like from the NHL. Basically, it had the same color scheme, had the same, like the country or the city. Not really, they didn't say like the Edmonton Oilers. It would just be like Edmonton. I don't remember if they had a Detroit team or not. For some reason, I think they did not. I could be wrong, but Blades of Steel was just fun. Just, again, I played it for hours and hours and hours, and I would make up my own schedules and stuff. And you could do a tournament on there, I believe, but I'd make up my own schedules and everything, and I have all these, like a whole season, and just do it like that. I put a lot of work into that Blades of Steel game. Number 6 is another game that I played maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I played it for about a year. Slime Rancher. This is not a game that I ever thought that I would be into, but my kid played it. He was having a good old time with it. I started getting into the fact that you can collect all these different slimes. You're basically a guy, you're going around sucking slimes in, and you put them in containers, like coops or whatever. There's so much to it. You have to take care of your slimes, you have to take care of like your gardens and all your crops and everything. You have to maintain your farm. You can build, you can grow, you can level up, you can get better guns, better suction, better jetpacks, all this different stuff. There's things to fight, the tar. There was a lot to this game, and again, it was one of those huge open world maps, and they kept updating the game and opening up new levels and stuff, which I don't even know. I think they got a Slime Rancher 2. Actually, I think the trailer that I accidentally downloaded is for Slime Rancher 2. I'm pretty sure it is. I didn't even know that existed. I kind of don't want to know that that exists, because I kind of want to play that now, but I don't have time for video games right now, unfortunately. I wish I did. Maybe one of these days when I'm living in my van and I'm not filming so much anymore and I'm gonna retire, then I'll get Slime Rancher 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever they got at that point. But this game was just, I like games without, I don't like complicated games. I don't like games that make you turn the screws and build the engine. I like games that are just mindless fun, but they still have a lot of aspects to it. This game is just right up my alley. And like I said, I played it way too much. Number 5 is a game that, first of all, I love the TV show. Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse is the game at number 5. I love Family Guy. It's one of my all-time favorite TV shows. But the real reason that I like this game is because my son was very young when it came out. This was on like the Xbox, not 1. What was the one before that? Xbox 3? Something like that? Or Xbox 2? I don't remember. But I bought this game because I liked Family Guy. And I think this game got him into Family Guy. He still watches it all the time. And you can play as any member of the family. You can play as Cleveland, Quagmire, to Death. There's everything about the game at that point in the series is in there. And the references to the TV show are endless. The gameplay was super fun, but again, the main reason is because my son and I would sit there. It was one of our favorite games. I know Gears of War was another one which almost made this list as well, but that game, we just wore it out. We literally wore it out. Like, it was done. Oops, I kicked you again. I'm sorry. The game was not playable anymore by the time we got done with it. I've been trying to find it on Xbox Store. Sometimes they bring back the Xbox 360, that's what it was, games. But I can't find it anywhere. I would love to sit and play that game with him now, because if it was even half as fun as it was for us back then, and I was going through a really rough time in life back then when we were playing that game, and I mean really rough. I didn't even have a place to live. I don't think I had a car. I was staying with a friend, and it was just rough. I never slept day to night because I didn't have a room. It sucked. My life was shit back then. But whenever he came over, once or twice a week, we'd sit and play, those games, and that was the main one that we played, and I will never forget those times with him. And I'm getting emotional about a Family Guy video game. But that's how much the time with him back then meant to me, because that's all I had was him. Number 4, there is a tie. That is so cheating, yes, but I couldn't knock any of these off the list, and I had both of these next to each other. I'm like, you know what? They're equally awesome, so they're gonna be tied, and they're both South Park games. The Fractured Butthole and the Stick of Truth. Again, these are both games that my son and I played together and just had the time of our lives laughing and giggling about. I actually beat both of them myself after watching him beat them, but both times we got to just hang out, and I love watching him play these games, especially if they're funny. It's just like watching South Park, which is one of my favorite shows, one of his favorite shows. So again, great bonding time over a video game. And come out with another one, please, because we'll do the same. Hurry up before he gets too old and he's moved out. He'll be 15 this year. I got like 3 years. Come on, South Park, give me like something. Just give me something. I'm desperate. But no, these games are fantastic. If you like South Park, you will love these games. And they're hilarious, and they're edgy. They're over the top. They're disgusting. They're South Park. They're so fun to play. They're easy to play. It's just so much damn fun. Like, what else can I say? South Park rules. Number 3, back to the NES. It's the original Nintendo Pro Wrestling game. Nope, not WWE, not even WCW, not any of the other wrestling games, the All-Star games and all this stuff. None of that. I don't like those games. I really don't. As big of a wrestling fan as I've always been for my entire freaking life, I'm not a big fan. I have none of them. I've not bought one of those games since like Bring the Pain, the SmackDown game. But this game was, I mean, if I was to play it now, it would be terrible. I know it would be terrible. I think I have it on one of these little like fake Nintendo things that has like 10,000 games on. I'm pretty sure it's in there. But I remember back in the day, that's literally morning to night. I would be Starman, and I would just go through all the rosters and beat everybody's ass, and just win all the championships and hold on to all the championships. And then it was rare that I'd lose. I'd lost sometimes, but I like Starman. I don't even remember what the other people's names were. I know there was like a mermaid guy. There was like a Ric Flair looking guy. I think there was a Yakuzawa or something, the Japanese guy, and it seems like it may have been a Mexican game, like with Mexican wrestlers and stuff like that. But I remember like you could throw people outside the ring, and Starman had this little kick where he just did a little flip, and it was just so freaking cool. I kind of want to find it and play it. And number two is what I'm going to do after this video, because it's a lot of beef jerky today. Anyways, number 2 on this list though is a weird one. I was managing a nightclub called the Asylum Concert Club in Lawton, Oklahoma. It was my club. My handprints were all over that place, literally and figuratively. I loved that place. I loved it so much that I would often sleep there, like just overnight, wake up in the morning, get back to work, stay all night. I discovered a game called Command and Conquer. Red Alert 2, I think it was. Red Alert 2. It may have just been a regular Red Alert, but it's a military strategic game. You build stuff, you build barracks, you build factories, you build power plants, you build headquarters, all these different things. You make troops, you make tanks, you make all your weaponry and all your vehicles and everything like that, and then you kind of have to go through this blackened out map and discover other armies, and and then you go to war, and it was just a strategic game. I don't know what the exact terminology of it is, but it was so much damn fun. I just remember though, like as soon as work was done, the bar was closed, 2 a.m. I couldn't wait to get to my office, fire up the old computer, whatever kind of computer it was, and just play this game until I couldn't play it anymore, until I passed out. Eventually, I found it on Xbox, and it was just as fun. And then I wore that out. I think there was an Xbox 360 game as well. And there was a like a mean-looking Russian woman on the cover of it. I don't remember if it was Red Alert or Red Alert 2, but Command and Conquer, all of those games are fun. I found a new Command and Conquer, Red Alert, and I got it for Xbox One, and holy it was impossible. It was so damn hard. I couldn't get anywhere on this game, so I got rid of it. I got mad at it, like, okay, this is stupid. Now, number one might surprise some of you, maybe all of you. Would not surprise my son, because this is the game that I've spent more time out of every game in the entire history of games. This is the game I've spent more time playing. And this is the ultimate game. I told you, my number one is my ultimate meditation game. I just play it, and I'm out. I'm in a different place, and I can come up with amazing ideas, some wonderful ideas that I've had for ASY TV, for myself personally, for different aspects, different businesses, have come out of my brain while playing my number one, which is Minecraft. Yes, I freaking adore Minecraft, and I don't care who knows it. I don't care what you're saying about me right now about Minecraft. You're like, Brandon, you're 48 years old and you're playing Minecraft? Yes, I am. Because it is a fantastically fun game. It's a huge open world. You can go creative and just build stuff and have fun and fly around and stuff, but I enjoy the survival mode, and there's stakes to be had. I still keep my inventory because I'm a real wuss about that. I hate dying and then losing everything, and you're like, really? I had a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword and a diamond shovel. I had all this stuff and I just lost it all. Wonderful. And then I get mad and turn it off. I don't want to do that, because that adds stress to a game that's, in my opinion, designed to relax Brandon. I want to know, does it tell you, like, on the game? Like, I want to know how many hours I've spent playing Minecraft. It has to be somewhere like a full month of my life sitting down on this couch, or a couch that looks just like it, staring at a TV and going, I'm gonna build something. Oh, I'm gonna go into the nether. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's a pig zombie. Oh, come here, chicken. Oh, yeah, I got a fiery sword, so you're already cooked. I just adore Minecraft. I do. I would wear a Minecraft t-shirt in public and not care what you think. Oops, wrong button. So with this, even though it's late, I think I'm gonna play some Xbox. I really should get games for the computer. I just don't like, I like this. Like, it's so much easier. So much easier. Anyways, leave in the comments what your favorite video games are. Give me a top 5, or just give me your favorite, whatever. Give me games that you didn't like that are on my list. I don't care. We can agree to disagree. And subscribe to this channel already. I will wait. See, it was pretty quick. You did it real fast. And if you like this video, like it, share it, hit the notification bell so you know that every Monday and Friday you get new videos from the ASY TV Life on the ASY TV YouTube channel. And get ASY TV, which is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and at ASYTV.com. We have a huge upgrade coming pretty soon with a ton of new shows and new episodes of existing shows with household names, homegrown talent, lots of me, and yeah, get it, because that's how I make a living. And this is a monetized YouTube channel, so keep watching all this stuff because it helps out. Usually on the ASY TV Life, we're around the country filming TV shows for ASY TV, going on different adventures, discovering new places, eating a lot. And that's usually. But again, I'm off the road for like a month. Unless you want to watch me washing my clothes and making coffee in the morning and brushing my teeth and attempting to get back into shape in the gym. If you really want to watch that, leave in the comments and say, sure, Brandon, we'll give it a shot, I guess. I don't think you do, though. So in the meantime, you're going to get a few of these top 10, top 20, top whatever lists, and call it filler, because the adventures are coming soon. Thank you for watching.